Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay, so we have moved to unit 2 now. So this is unit 2, and we will be discussing and studying information channels and various aspects related to it. So I think we had briefly touched this in the introduction class, or maybe a class after which, in which what we have is, suppose we have an array of message signals, uh, say xn, okay, and then we have y, which are the output signals, which are y1, y2, y3. हाँ हाँ 18 है ना, 5 नहीं है, नहीं 18% बात है ना, ठीक है सर। ym. So, and so they're related something like x2, x3. Just hold on for a second. I'll just come back. Yes, sorry. So let's begin. So, so you have, say, xn on one side. These are all discrete messages. And on the other side, you have y1, y2, y3, and ym, which are, so these are discrete input signals, or symbols, I must say, discrete input symbols. And on the other side, you have discrete output symbols. And we generally try to relate them through a conditional probability matrix. And let me call this matrix. So this is how we generally relate an information channel, and we're talking for a discrete memoryless channel. If you remember, this was a discrete memoryless channel. Let me just write it. A discrete memoryless channel. Okay, so this probability is called as this matrix. This is conditional probability. So let me just, once we're doing it, let's do it with all the. So this is, what does this mean? This is the conditional probability and it is the probability that probability of receiving yj when xi is transmitted. So if you look at the entire system from the communication point of view, then the ideal scenario is if xi is transmitted, then yi is received. That means if you look at this, so if x1 is transmitted, we would want to receive y1. If x2 is transmitted, we would want to receive y2. But we talk in terms of general concept. If x1 is transmitted, any one of them can occur. So there will be an error every time when if x1 is transmitted and y1 is not received. Okay, so for all other times you will basically be getting an error. So if x2 is transmitted, you must receive y2. If anything else is received, then that means there is an error. So we will come to that and we'll talk in terms of probability of error also in this case. So, but this is basically what the idea is. We are trying to look at this channel in terms of the probabilities, and we'll also calculate the probability of error, and then move ahead talking in terms of other parameters like entropy and someone's mic is on. Right. So this is conditional probability, and the matrix that holds all the values of these conditional probabilities, this matrix is called as the probability transition matrix. Probability transition matrix. So just for an example, if I write y3 over x2, it means that y3 was received when x2 was transmitted. So this is what it is. Okay, just as an example. So how would this matrix look like? This matrix would look like as follows. So we are now looking at the form of the probability transition matrix. So this matrix is, on this side you have x1, x2, x3 and so on up to xn, and you have y1, y2, y3 up to ym. So this element here is p y1 x1. This element is p y1 x2. This is p y1 x3, and this will go on, and the last element here will be p y1 xn. Similarly, you can find out all other elements, and here this is going to be p y m x1. This is going to be p y m x2, and this will go on, and this will be basically p y m over xn. So this is basically the state transition matrix, and you must be able to create it if you're given any network. There would be some times when one of the connections, generally we come across channels in which we try to relate x1 to all the outputs in a standard sense, but in case if it's not related, then that probability will be 0 basically. Okay, so now let's look at a much more simplified case. So this was like, the case with you had n inputs and m outputs, but let's just draw this matrix for a very simple case where your n, let's say, is 3 and your m, let's say, is 4. So you have x1, you have x2, you have x3, and they give you capital X, and you have y1, y2, y3, y4, and that is your capital Y, right? So what would the matrix look like? So the matrix would look like yj over xi. So let's create this x1, x2, x3, then you'll have y1, you have y2, you have y3, you have y4. So this is going to be p y1 over x1. This would be p y1 over x2. This would be p y1 by x3, and this is going to be p y2. This will be p y2 x2. This will be p y2 x3. Sorry, this would be y4. This would be p y3 by x1, y3 by x2. This will be p y3 by x3. And here you will have p y4 by x1, y4 by x2, and p y4 by x3. So this would be our matrix basically, right? So something like this. So this is your state transition matrix for a discrete memoryless channel in which there are 3 input symbols and there are 4 output symbols. Now, since each input is related to every output, it means that each row will add up to unity, because you know that for one input it will always be related to every output. So probability of y1 when x1 has occurred plus probability of y2 when x1 has occurred plus probability of y3 when x1 has occurred and probability of y4 when x1 has occurred. All of them when together added should give you 1. So in general, since each input is related to some output, we have sir. Mukesh bahar ho gaya, sir. So we have basically summation p yj over xi, and if you look at it, y1, y2, y3, y4, right? So actually the summation is going to happen over j. So this summation will happen over j starting from 1, and this will go to, so your j's were basically up to m, right? So it will go to m, right? And this will be for all i's, for all I. So basically what it means is p y1 over x1 plus p y2 over x1 plus p y3 over x1 plus p y4 over x1 is equal to 1. p y1 over x2 plus p y2 over x2 plus p y3 over x2 plus p y4 over x2 is equal to 1, and so on. So this is how basically this rule needs to be interpreted. Okay, so moving ahead. So similarly, since we can assign probabilities to these conditional transitions, we also have what we call as input probabilities. What is the probability that a symbol x1 will be emitted by the source? What is the probability that symbol x2 will be emitted by the source? So they combine together and they give us input probabilities. Input probabilities. So this input probabilities is a set which is EXI, and this is basically a row array. So this would actually be XI. So this would be PX1, PX2, and PX3. In this case, the example that we have taken, but in general, it will be something like PX1, PX2, and it will go to PXN, because you have n input signals. Okay, so then similarly, we have output probabilities. And they will be denoted by PYJ. So this is again going to be a row array, and in general, I'll just write the general expression for this. So this will be PYJ, and that is going to be basically PY1, PY2, and this will go on till PYN. So this is another probability array, just like input probabilities, right? So this is basically 1 cross m, so 1 row and m number of columns, and this is 1 cross n, where it is 1 row and n number of columns. Okay, Now there is a set rule in probability theory. So the rule is that if A and B are two events, so the joint probability, which is PAB, can be written as conditional probability, say P over A into PA, right? So this is one of the formulas. You can also write it as PA over B into PB. So, but it's just one of the method, one of the formulas I'm writing, right? So let's say that your A is XI and your B is YJ. If that is the case, then this probability, let me just write them small piece. Yeah. So P XI YJ can then be written as P YJ over XI into PXI, right? So this is how you can write it. So just a second. Okay, so let me just rewrite it again on the fresh page. So you have XI YJ is YJ over XI dot P XI. So now suppose I need to find out the probability. So from a joint probability, I can find out the probability of individual elements by summing it over the other variable. So I can just say that what is the probability of obtaining an output symbol. So what is the probability of obtaining PYJ if I'm given the joint probability? Then it is simply probability of Xi Yj where I varies from 1 to n. So this is a standard definition. So this is how I obtain the probability of an individual Yj. Okay, so if I substitute the joint probability expression, so this comes out to be n, and we have probability Yj over Xi into probability of X. So this is the probability that you will obtain a given Yj. So suppose you had to calculate what is the probability that y2 will occur. So it will be py2 is summation I starting from 1 to n. हो गया ना वो? Resolve हो गया? 18 ही है ना? बस भेजो है. हाँ, किस पे? जैसे भी है, अब कर दो बस, जो भी है प्रोसीजर है. हाँ हाँ हाँ, चलो हाँ. इस हर पेज पे साइन कर दीजिएगा. अच्छा. पढ़ा लीजिए पहले कोई. हाँ ठीक है. Thank you. Right, sorry. So if suppose I had to evaluate what is the probability, if I had to evaluate what is the probability of y2, so that will simply be I varying from 1 in the previous problem that we were doing. So it will be 3. So this is just an example. So this would be probability py2 over xi into pxi. So then you just run over the sum. You just do the sum and you run the summation over all i's and you'll get the answer, right? So this is basically what it is. So we are basically trying to figure out how is it using values of the state transition matrix we can find out probability of occurrences of different outputs. So then once we do that, so now we have established what will be the formula to do that, we are in a position to evaluate how will error happen in any transmission. So as I said before, so now let's look at the occurrence of error. Occurrence of error. So when would there be an error? Suppose xi is transmitted and yj is received. This is error. No error exists when xi is transmitted and yi is received. So I can say that if I'm evaluating the probability of error, then that is the probability of all yj's where j will start from 1 to m such that j is not equal to I. Because if j is equal to I, then no error exists. So this is important. So this is the probability of error. And this is very important for us, this quantity. So probability of error is summation of all the probabilities of yj's when j is not equal to I. So we are transmitting xi, then if we're transmitting x1, then there is a error if we receive y2, y3 and y4, because we have to receive y1 only. So this is basically what the problem is.
सर वाई सर कि x1 ने ट्रांसमिट किया फिर वो y2 y3 के पास गया तो
क्योंकि
how will this happen?
So it could just be that we generally transmitting things as bits, right? So it could be that the combination of the bits that represent y1 is not received and the combination of the bits that represent y2 is received. So the system will interpret it as y2 when you have to receive y1. So the channel is such that you're transmitting x1, x2, x3, x4, xn, and we say that for x1, error-free transmission has happened only when you receive y1. So this is a precondition that we set. Because if I'm sending a message, then I should also assign a message at the receiving end, which I would consider as the true message, right? So we already know what is the true message that has to be received. We are sending different messages at the, receiving, at the transmitting end. And we know what we have to receive at the receiver end. So if we do not receive that, then it is an error. So in this discrete memoryless channel, I'm already defining that there would not be, just a second. Yeah, there would not be an error. As I said, that if xi is transmitted and yi is received, only then there will not be an error. But if xi is transmitted and yj is received, where obviously I and j are not the same, then there'll be an error. So that is why I'm evaluating probability of error as summation of all probabilities of yj's when j is not equal to I. That is what I'm evaluating. So I hope that I've kind of, cleared your question.
Yes, sir. इट मीन्स y1 पर ऐसे फिक्स होता है कि हाँ x1 आ रहा तो मेरा y1 के लिए ही, रिसीवर के लिए
हाँ
वो मैसेज
हाँ
होगा।
हाँ हाँ हाँ, ये ऐसे मैंने चैनल,
Okay.
ऐसे ही मैंने चैनल डिस्क्राइब करा,
प्री
मतलब
डिफाइन होता है पहले से।
हाँ हाँ प्री डिफाइंड होगा
आर यू
ऑब्वियसली,
सेइंग?
अदरवाइज हाँ, अदरवाइज हाउ वुड यू नो व्हाट यू हैव टू रिसीव। सो मतलब ये है कि अगर मैं एक सिग्नल, जैसे इफ वी आर टॉकिंग, इफ आई एम सेइंग हेलो, then you already know what you should be able to hear at the other end, right? It should be a hello only. That is just common sense, right? So if you hear bye, then that means there is an error. If you do not hear hello and you only hear hello, then you don't know. If I say hello and you only hear hell but not hello, then there is an error, right? So all these are basic possibilities, different signals getting received. So if I'm transmitting hello, you should be able to hear hello. So my hello is x1, and what you receive as hello at your end is your y1. It just so happens that in this case, x1 is equal to y1, but I can always, have different signs. Suppose I say hello and it is encrypted. And if I say hello, it means that go to sleep. So if you've not received that hello, then you would not know that you have to go to sleep, right? So that is like encrypted. So we are saying that we are sending some x1, and there we would consider the system not to have any error if y1 is received. That's it. Whatever is x1, whatever is y1 doesn't really matter right now. And if you receive any other y except for y1 when x1 is transmitted, it is an error. That is what I mean. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So coming back to the mathematics of it. So that means I'm rewriting it again. Probability of error occurs. So this session is going to expire in like 7 minutes. We'll take a small break of say 2 minutes and we'll come back again. And I'll just finish one more topic and then that will be all over. So this is basically P yj, where j starts from 1 to m and j is not equal to y. So if I substitute P yj by the value that I've derived already over here, so then that will make this j equal to 1 to m, where j is not equal to I, summation I from 1 to n, it will be P yj over xi dot pxi. Remember, we are talking of all those j's where I is different from j. Okay. So this is basically what the probability of error of the discrete memoryless channel is. Sometimes you have to evaluate this value. So it's important that you know how to do it. Okay. So these are all the things that we were able to talk about given this matrix, which was basically your conditional probability matrix, or it is also called as probability transition matrix. So this is called as PTM, right? This is probability transition matrix. Okay, and this is defined in terms of conditional probabilities. And in this discussion, there was another probability that got mentioned, which was just a second, which was this probability. This is basically the joint probability, right? So this is the joint probability. So now let's talk about joint probability. So the next topic that we are going to study is how is it that we can come to describe joint probability matrix, which means we're trying to find out this probability matrix. This probability matrix. So if you look at the formula, then this formula is basically the conditional probability multiplied by the probability of the input symbol, right? So you can obviously obtain this matrix through the state transition matrix, and it's very simple. So in general, when we are taking I to vary from 1 to n, and we are taking j to vary from 1 to m, so this matrix is simply going to be given as, so what you do is that you basically multiply the first row of the state transition matrix with px1, second with px2, third with px3, and you just go on like this and you obtain this. So this is basically going to be p1 over x1 multiplied by px1. This is going to be py2 over x1 multiplied by px1, and this will go on to pym over xm multiplied by px1, and then this is going to be py2 over x1, sorry, py1 over x2 into px2. This is going to be py2 over x2 into px2, and this will go till pym over x2 into px2. So in a minute it'll end. We'll just come back for 5 more minutes and then it'll be over. So then this will continue, and I'm just writing the last here. So this will be py1 over xn into pxn, and this will all continue, and you will get pym over xn into pxn, right? So this is going to be your joint probability matrix. And so I think what we can do is we can just write this matrix. So this is basically pxi yj, and so this will be p x1 y1 will be p x1 y2 up to p x1 ym, and this is going to be p xn ym. This is going to be p x1 y1. This will be p xn y2, and so on. And this will be px2 y1. This will be p. Then using this, how can we find out the probability of individual output symbols? It's simply summation of every row. So p yj, if you have to evaluate, it is simply adding all elements of a row, because we already know that pyj is nothing but summation of joint probability matrix over all i's, right? So this is what it is. So if you look at it, if you just add all these, sorry, it will be the column, sorry, not, it will be just the column, it will be the addition of all the column elements. So forgive me for writing rows, it's actually columns of a column, right? So this is what it is. So if you have to find py1, So py1 is simply addition of all these elements here. Py2 will be addition of all these elements here, and ym will be addition of all these elements over here. So this is how you can find out p yj. Similarly, if you want to find pxi, then that is adding all elements of rows. Adding all elements of a row. So pxi is nothing but summation j starting from 1 to m. Sorry. P xi yj and nothing else. Right. So these are two things that you can evaluate straight away from this joint probability matrix. Now there is one last result that I want to talk about, and it will be the end of the class. The third result. So the third result is, so if we are given various symbols x1, x2, x3 till xn, then we also know that summation of the entire array is going to be 1. So I ranging from 1 to n, right? But we also know that pxi is nothing but j is equal to 1 to m pxi by j, right? So if I substitute it in this equation above, I get a very important result which simply points out to the fact that if you add all of these elements, the sum of all elements must be equal to unity. Okay, so these are the three things that come out of it. If you want to find out probability of individual output messages, you add all the elements of rows. If you want to find out the probability of input symbol, you add all the elements of a row, and the sum of all these elements is going to be 1. So this is the probability of joint. These are the properties of joint probability matrix. So in today's class, we have try to define a discrete memoryless channel based on probabilities. We have defined two probability matrices. One is the state transition matrix, which is the conditional probability matrix, and we have defined another probability matrix, which is a joint probability matrix. We have looked into various aspects of it, how we can find out the individual probabilities of output messages, how we can find out the individual probabilities of input messages using either the joint probability matrix or the conditional probability matrix. We also have found out an expression for evaluating the probability of error, which happens when xi is transmitted and yj is received. There will not be any error if xi is transmitted and yi is received. All right. So this is just a mathematical or theoretical description of this channel. We'll talk a little more about these things. That will be after the exams. I repeat, exam is up to the last class, which is unit 1, up to Markov models. All right. Okay, thank you. And I'll put these notes up there on the group. Thank you.